What's going on, guys? Junior's Tech you back with another video. Now today we have quite an exciting one. Today we're looking at a microphone. Now this is from a company called MAONO, and this one is a little bit different. Now this is an XLR microphone, but it's also powered by USB Type-C. You have two availabilities there, and this one is the Cardio Dynamic HD 300 series. I've not done a video regarding these microphones before because I've never really seen the point for the ones I normally review. But this one I'm kind of excited about. So why don't we just get straight into it and see what we're dealing with. So guys, here we have it. This is the microphone we are looking at. Like I said, this is the HD 300 series. This is the Professional Audio Innovation, and this is from MAONO. This is the Cardio Dynamic USB/XLR microphone. Like I said, this can be powered by XLR or it can be powered by USB Type-C. I'm not 100% sure or 100% familiar with XLR microphones. This is definitely a unique thing to me. But like I said, we're going to get this unboxed, have a look at the components, get it all built together, and of course, we're going to do an audio test over at the desk. So that's definitely something to stay tuned in. So we're going to have a quick look at this. Like I said, all links for this are going to be in the description. And as always, don't forget, if you've got any issues with it, drop down in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out any further videos. So what we're going to do is get this out. Like I said, on the back of the box, though, just before we go into it, it does give you a list of like the polar patterns and the frequency response, as well as in the instructions to the actual microphone, showing you roughly what everything does, what everything is, and all that stuff. So let's have a look. See, so we're going to go for bit by bit here. So we do have quite an extensive manual going on here, relatively quite thick, multiple languages, etc. But it's going to give you a lot of different setup versions. So if you want to set it for Windows or Apple, and then how to actually build it, how to power it, USB Type-C cable, XLR connector, all that good stuff. So let's get, first thing we're going to get out is the cable. Tell you what, I'll get everything out and then we'll go from there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each one of the parts and actually explain roughly what's going on. So we'll start off with XLR cable. So we do have male-female XLR going on here, like I said. So you've got one port that will go into the side of the microphone, and then the other port will go into your XLR device. I'll put a link in the description for their, I think it's their sound card or their player box, which is actually directly for for XLR. Like I said, I don't have any products that fit this, so that's definitely something I'm going to be thinking about. I'll drop that links in the description as well. But if you don't have the availability to use XLR, you can always use USB to USB Type-C as well, which we have right here. So it can be powered by both. So they do have the availability for that. So we do have the cage itself, the mounting cage for the anti-vibration, all that sort of stuff. Dual rubber bands on one side as well as the other, and the mounting hardware to actually attach it to the stand. So that's quite a cool thing. We do have quite a small little stand which is going to go on the base plate right here, which we're going to get fitted now, just so I don't forget. So we'll get that fitted in there. And like I said, we do have a little bit of leeway with this, so that does come out quite a bit. So if it's just on a base stand like that, you don't want a massive length anyways, because you don't want it sat like a tripod, because it's just a weird situation. So on the mounting hardware itself, we do have a screw thread going on inside there. So I'm just going to get that screwed on now. So that's that screwed on just like that there. And then we do have the actual filter itself. So we do have a 90 to 90 degree bar here, which is going to be for your filter, as well as a little screw bolt. That's just going to be for securing it to the pop filter here, which I'm going to do now. And that just simply screws into there like that. So get that set up there. And then on the side of the microphone, loosen that off a bit, we do have a little brass pin here. That is pretty much for this to slide in through the little hole here into that and then tighten it up. But we do need to straighten this guy up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is loosen that off a bit, loosen the bolt off a little bit, and then drop that about there. So we're going to turn that out of the way, and then we have our microphone itself, right? So the microphone as well, if we start at the bottom, we do have our XLR port, which is a female port. We do have a USB Type-C port as well as an audio port. So this is if you want to monitor your voice. You can connect a headset here to actually monitor how your voice sounds, which is pretty cool. Now, the front of the microphone itself, we do have plus or minus buttons going on, as well as an on-off switch, so pretty much like a mute button, as well as their logo going on the front. Relevant information on the back, as well as two different indications there for what each of the ports are for. and then we have the microphone. So the one thing I did like about this is, like most generic microphones, will have a pop filter that cover the top. But with these microphones, the mesh is that tightly woven in. It does help. But on the inside of here, we do also have more like an internal pop filter. So it is going to diminish some of the sounds, and it's going to help with the P's and B's and that sort of stuff, as well as the microphone itself going on here. So I'm going to screw that back in on there. I'm going to get this connected up to here to just show you roughly what it looks like. So that just slides into the rubber bands until it's nice and secure, until you have a good port. That slides over like that. And then I'll tilt this over so we can see it a bit better. Get that tightened over there. Loosen this down a bit so it's not as tall. And there we go. That's pretty much our setup. So we have our microphone here. Pop filter already internal on the microphone itself, as well as a bar here, which is also covering the pop filter itself. So when you're talking into this, your voice is smoothed out that little much better. So what we're going to do is actually, we're going to fall into doing an audio test. We're going to go head over to the desk. We are going to be using a USB to USB Type-C because I don't have availability to use XLR at the moment. So we are going to be using USB to USB Type-C. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to head over to the desk and see what we're working with. Right, so what we're going to be doing is an audio test compared to, well, we're not really comparing it. We're not going to be comparing anything because that's not what we're about. So the microphone I'm using at the moment is the one you can see right here. Sorry about the noise, but this is the HyperX that I'm currently using. Obviously, I predominantly use this for either all recordings or when it comes to, like, say, my gameplay. What we're actually doing is seeing what the basic XLR will. We're not using XLR function, we're using USB Type-C function. Sorry about the light, one's died and I can't really get it fixed, so don't worry about it at the moment. So that's what we're pretty much going to be doing. So I'm just going to be doing a small little audio test roughly to see what it sounds like. So I am going to be swapping over in just a second to see roughly what it sounds like. So give me 1 second, I will change over. So I haven't got any filters or anything attached to this device at the moment. Obviously, as you can hear. Sorry for the noise. But I have to admit, like, I've already done audio quality tests with this guy and already was phenomenal. And this was running through basic USB to USB Type-C. So you can just imagine the availability if you had this going from XLR to obviously male to female XLR and obviously into I think they're called sound cards or music panels where you can actually adjust different types of features when it comes to the actual microphone. Like I said, I will drop links in the description so you can go check that out for yourself if that is something you were involved in. But I have to admit, if it was overall just for a basic, microphone like this, I really cannot complain. It really justifies what they're all about, how you can see something from so minimalistic that sounds absolutely incredible. So why don't you let me know in the comment section of how you feel about this microphone to see how it actually sounds. By all means, this microphone does not have any filters or anything attached to it. I automatically just typed it up to OBS and I was pretty much away. So that's as far as I got with this microphone. So in the end of the day, let's see how it goes. So there we have it, guys. That was the microphone. Now, I'm not really sure what to say. Now, I've not reviewed XLR microphones since the Xingyu microphone. That was one of my first videos, which did really well, which I'm really happy about. I haven't done one of them for a very, very long time. So I have to admit, this was really nice to see. The microphone itself sounded amazing. You can agree with me on the audio when you actually watch this video. So I have to admit, it really was incredible. I did have to do some audio testing before recording so I can actually get an understanding of how these kind of work. Obviously, because you can do it through XLR, you can do it through USB Type-C. You have the monitoring feature as well, so you can monitor your own voice. So I did do some recording. I have to admit, with no filters, it still sounded relatively really good. So I have to admit, it's definitely a big thumbs up from this. The one thing I did see on the website is you can get a soundboard or a sound dock. That's definitely something I'm going to have to look into. Adding it to this to see roughly what it sounds like, that's definitely something I am looking forward to. So guys, if you are in the market for an amazing microphone like this, the HD300 series, head down the links in the description. There'll be a link there dedicated to their website so you can go check them out, as well as some of their other products. But as always, if you have any issues with this or any of the other products, drop them down in the comment section below. If I can't help you, I'll be able to find out who can. So it really is as simple as that, guys. But as always, thanks very much for watching. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any further videos.